Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen out there. Today too happens to be a great day, as I have always been doing. Today too we are going to another dimension or different dimension of the usual episodes that I have been doing. Today I'll be discussing or I'll be talking about the Cyber Security Act 2020 at 1038. That is what I will be talking about or I'll be discussing to help people know some of the do's and don'ts that you are not supposed to do by using your Android phones or your iPhones or the internet in committing a crime in one way or the other, whereby you'll be arrested and find yourself wanting, and at the end of the day you say that I wasn't aware that if I do this act it constitutes to an offense. So the awareness creation is what I am going to do. Today I will be speaking on the topic protection of children online. Protection of children online. There are times people do things online which they don't know is an offense. So let's set the ball rolling. Now, when we talk about a child, what do we mean or what do we understand by a child? Now, a child is what? A person under 12 years of age. A child is a person under 12 years of age. And the Criminal Offences Act, that is Act 29, 1960, will tell you or define a child as what? A child as a person under 12 years of age incapable of committing a criminal offense. So it so happens that when a child commits an offense, it is understands that the child cannot be held responsible for committing that offense. So basically, what I'm trying to talk about this afternoon is about the protection of what? Children online. Now, I'm going to speak on a topic, indecent image or photograph of what? A child. Indecent image or photograph of a child under the Cyber Security Act 2020. Now, the law is saying that, under Section 62, the law is saying that, 1, a person shall not, and in law they say when they say shall, they are talking about something which is what? Mandatory. It is mandatory. It means that you have no excuse. So a person shall not take or permit to be taken an indecent image or photograph of a child. That is what the Section 62A is talking about. And the B says that produce or procure an indecent image or photograph of a child for the purpose of the publication of the indecent image or photograph through a computer system. So what the B is trying to talk about is that you have no right whatsoever to produce or what? Procure an indecent image. And when we talk about I'll come to what the indecent image constitutes. So indecent image or photograph of a child for the purpose of the publication, for you distributing, for dissemination, for you sharing of that indecent image or photograph through a computer system, like through Facebook, through WhatsApp, through other social media handles. That is what the law is talking about. 3, the C is talking about to publish, to stream, that is doing live coverage, including live stream. Yes, as I've talked about, an indecent image or photograph of a child through a computer or an electronic device. Now, the D says that possesses an indecent image. Possesses, even that you have it in your possession. You are having that indecent image or photograph of a child in a computer system. You have it on, let's say, your laptop. You have it on your phone. or a computer or on a computer or electronic record storage medium. Then the two, this is the offense creating section. So the two is saying that a person who contravenes, who goes contrary to subsection 1, as I have read above, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction, which means you can be convicted at the law court to a fine. You can be convicted to a fine of not less than 2,500 penalty unit, 2,500 penalty unit, and 2,500 penalty unit will give you 30,000. That is 300 million. 30,000, 300 million. That is what he's saying. Or of not less than 2,500 penalty. That is 30,000, 300 million, and not more than 5,000. Not more than 5,000 penalty units. Not more than 5,000 penalty units. So the 5,000 penalty unit will also give you 60,000. That is 600 million. 600 million. 600 million. 600 million. That is the 5,000 penalty, or to a term of imprisonment. Or if you are not able to get this 300 million or 60,000, that's the 600 million, then you are eligible to a term of imprisonment. You can be sent to prison of not less than 5 years and not more than 10 years, or both. Not less than 5 years or not more than 10 years, or both. So this is what the law is saying. Let's move on. 3. He said, for the purpose of paragraph C of subsection 1, paragraph C, the paragraph C is talking about to publish, to stream, including live streaming, an indecent image or photograph of a child through a computer or an electronic device. That is what the C says. For the purposes of paragraph C of subsection 1, a person publishes an indecent photograph, image, or visual recording. That is the image, visual recording. If that person A parts with the possession, that is you have the possession of the indecent image, the indecent image, like a child being naked, and you have taken that photograph of that person, pass with possession of the indecent photograph, image, or recording to another person. So if you have this, you have a child, let's say a male child or a female child who is naked, you have taken photograph of that person and you share it with another person. The law is saying that it's an offense. B, the law is saying that exposes or offers the indecent photograph. You expose the child. You bring the child to the public domain or to the knowledge of other people. Image or recording for acquisition by another person, for you giving it to another person. Okay, so 4. The 4 is saying that for the purpose of this session, for the purpose of what I have enumerated above or what I have stated above, he said for the purpose of this session, the indecent image or the photograph includes a material thing, something which is a material image, an image material. So even a drawing of which depicts or which shows that of a male or female child, or a female child includes a material image, a female child. The visual recording, using your phone to record the nakedness of a child, either a male or a female, or videoing or video or drawing or text that depicts or shows, in other words, shows a child engage in sexually explicit or suggestive conduct. A child engage in sexually explicit or suggestive conduct, like as if the child is having an affair with someone. This is what the A is talking about. Then B, the B is saying that a person who appears to be a child engaged in sexually explicit or suggestive conduct is more or less what I have explained with the A. Then C, the C is saying that images representing a child engaged in sexually explicit or suggestive conduct, images, that is drawing, shows the child is like having sexual intercourse with someone. That is what the D is what talking about. Then the E is saying that any writing material, visual representation, or audio recording that advocates, counsels sexual activity with children, that will be an offense under the Criminal Offences Amendment Act 29, or any other relevant what enactment. Now the F is also saying that any writing material that has or its dominant characteristics, the description for a sexual what purpose of sexual activity with a child, that will be an offense under the Criminal Offences Act 1960, or any relevant what document. Now the J is also saying that any audio recording that has its dominant characteristics, the description, presentation, or representation for a sexual what purpose, like you allow the child to be having what sex, and in the course of the sex you are recording as if they are making some kind of noise, romantic what noise or sexual what noise, and you have recorded. That is what he's saying of sexual activity with the child. That will be also an offense under the Criminal Offences Act 1929, or any other relevant what document. Now let's go to section 63. The section 63 also talks about dealing with a child for the purpose of what sexual abuse. Dealing with a child for the purpose of sexual abuse. Now, one is saying that a person shall not use, the law is mandating you shall not use a computer online service. That is the A. Then the B talks about an internet services. Then the C also talks about local bulletin board service or any other device capable of electronic storage or transmission to seduce, solicit, lure, groom, or entice or attempt to seduce, solicit, lure, groom, or entice a child or another person believed by the person to be a child, the person who is recording, who knows that this person you are recording is a child, for the purpose of what? Facilitating, encouraging, offering, or soliciting unlawful sexual conduct of or with any child, or the visual depiction of such conduct. 2. Let's go to the 2. The 2 is saying that a person who contravenes subsection 1, as I have read above, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a term of imprisonment of not less than 5 years and not more than 15 years. If you are caught with such an act, this is what the law is saying. You can be imprisoned. You can be convicted and sentenced to jail term of not less than 5 years and not more than 15 years. Now, let's go to the 64. The 64 talks about aiding and abetting of a child dealing for the purpose of sexual abuse. Now, the 64 is also saying that an owner or operator of a computer, if you own the computer or you operate it online services like this internet cafe, wedlock, internet services or internet bulletin board services shall not. So the law is saying that you shall not, you the person who also owns such devices like the internet cafe, you shall not aid and abet. Aid and abet means helping someone or another person for the purpose of facilitating or encouraging the online soliciting of a child. So maybe you put an advert on your computer machine at the internet cafe. Then you give some kind of an advert on it, telling people that if you come, I can get a child for you to have sexual intimacy or sexual relation with a person. That is what the law is saying. On the B, permit any person to use the services of that person. You permit any person to use the services of that person for the purpose of facilitating, encouraging, offering, or soliciting unlawful sexual conduct of or with child or the visual depiction of such conduct. So as you have done that, then someone contacts you that, Charlie, so can you get me this child so that I can have an affair with that child? And you the person who owns, let's say, the internet cafe, you are able to help to get the child and push this child for another person to have sexual relation or intimacy. This is what the law is talking about. So if you aid that person, you are capable of or you have also helped in that person who have sexual relation with that person in committing a crime. You have helped that person. That is what the 64B is talking about. Now let's move to the 2. He said the 2 is saying that a person who contravenes subsection 1, what I have read about, in the 64 is a person who contravenes or goes contrary to subsection 1, commits an offense, and you are liable on summary conviction to a term of imprisonment of no less than 5 years and not more than 15 years. I think what I have stated is very clear. Now, let's go to 65. The 65 also talks about what? Cyber staking of a child. The 65 is saying that a person shall not use a computer online service, an internet service, or a local internet bulletin board service, or any other electronic device to compile, transmit, publish, reproduce, buy, sell, receive, exchange, or disseminate the name. You give the name of this child, you give the telephone number of the child, electronic mail address, residence address, where the child stays. Let's say, be it a female child, where that child is staying, you're able to provide their contact, their location, everything on the computer or on online services. Picture, you put the child's picture there, the female child, you put his picture there. Physical description, or how the breast is, the size of the buttocks is, you do everything. That is what the physical description, characteristics, or any other identifying information on a child in furtherance of an effort to arrange a meeting. Furtherance of an effort to arrange a meeting with a child for the purpose of engaging in sexual intercourse. So you do all these things. You have put in the description of the child, a video of the child, or a picture of the child on internet services, as you being the operator of the computer services or the internet facility, and you give the person's address, everything of that of the child to another person, or you publish it online so that they can get access, and you put your phone number there. They can call you, and now you arrange with a child, and the person will come, or even the child will travel to go and have sexual intercourse, or sexual explicit conduct, or unlawful sexual activity. Now the law is saying that too, that a person who contravenes, if anyone, you do this act, or you facilitate in committing this act, you contravene subsection 1, commits an offense, and you are liable on summary conviction to a term of imprisonment of not less than 5 years. You can be jailed for 5 years and not more than 15 years. Okay, let's move on to the 3. The 3 is also saying that for the purpose of this section, unlawful sexual activity means a sexual activity characterized by a recurrent intense sexual urge of a person. Because you display it there, the child nakedness, someone sees it and he feels, he gets the libido to have some sexual intense for that child. Then the B is saying that sexual arousing fantasy of a person. The person sees the nakedness of this and said, wow, if I get this girl, oh, I would like it, I would like to sleep with her. If you do that, and the C is also saying that the use of an object by a person, resulting in the suffering or humiliation of that person. So this child, because you've done that, she doesn't know that this was what you intended to do. You are able to arrange with the child to go to that man. The child didn't know that I was going there for this person to have sex with me. That is what he said, resulting in the suffering or humiliation of that child. So he goes there, at the end of the day, the man forcibly have sexual intercourse with this child. The child has been humiliated because he never thought or think that that is what you were trying to offer me for. He said the partner of that person, a child or any other non-consenting partner. So if you're able to do all these things, you are going contrary to what the law is saying. You are going contrary to what the law is saying under the Cyber Security Act 2020. So this afternoon, basically what that I am trying to say is that it is an offense for anyone who knows that this child you are dealing with, and the child, as I have already indicated, is someone who falls the age of 12 years and below. At 12 years and below, it means that he is not a fully grown person yet, because the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana makes us to understand that someone is a matured person when he attains the age of 18 years. So if you are found of doing that, if it's even against the International Children's Rights, it's even against those laws. So if you are having in your possession an images of children, and you are even traveling the cities, you can be arrested. If you use your internet facility or even your computer to publish nakedness of a child, to entice people the fantasy of people, for people to get interested, for them to contact you, and because you do it for the purpose of you gaining money from others, and when they contact you, you're able to what? Influence this child, push this child to the other person, for the other person to have sex without the knowledge of even the child, or the child did not know that this is what you intend using her for. The law is saying that you commit an offense, and I have stated the years. You can, for 15 years. You can be jail for what? 15 years. Others you can be jail for what? 15 years. 15 years and for 15 years and what? 10 years. For 15 years and what? 15 years, 10 years and 5 years. So my dear brothers, my dear sisters out there, you might not know that when you do this, it constitutes an offense under the new Cybersecurity Act 2020 at 1038. So this afternoon, I hope that I have shared something with you, and I know that you are also going to share for others to what? Know that when they do this, it constitutes an offense. I'll be coming your way same time, maybe next week, with other offenses that if you use your phone or your computer to do it, it amounts to what? An offense under the Cybersecurity Act 2020 at 1030. Stay blessed and never find yourself wanting. Goodbye.